Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Laurel and I'm bringing you a Pokemon Online YouTube tournament round 4 battle between Proof and Yipy. So Proof is running a team of Magneton, Roselia, Vullaby, Sylveon, Swampert, and Sock. He's using a pretty balanced team. He's got a nice defensive core of Roselia and Swampert, and he's got Vullaby on his team to defog and Sock to kill some stuff. So Yipy is running a team of Emboar, Nidoqueen, Cobalion, Golbat, Azelf, and Gramble. He's also using a pretty balanced team. He's got a nice defensive core of Golbat and Gramble, and Nidoqueen will probably set up Toxic Spikes. So, with that done, let's see how this battle goes down. Alright, so, Yipy is going to lead off with his Nidoqueen, and, Proof is going to lead off with his Magneton. Yipy goes for the Earth Power and smashes the Magneton, who goes for the Flash Cannon, dealing 80%. Yippy's going to switch out and go into his Golbat to take the Flash Cannon, but unfortunately, the Flash Cannon does 58% with the crit, so that's too bad for Yipy. Proof is going to switch out, fearing the U-turn to take out his Magneton, and Yipy makes a great play and goes for the Roost. He switches out into his Nidoqueen on the Swampert as Death Fodder to bring in his Emboar here. Proof's going to make a great play coming up. Yipy brings in his Emboar, but there's no reason why an Emboar would come in on a Swampert unless it had Grass Knot. So Proof is going to see that coming, and he switches into his Sylveon. Unfortunately for Proof, Yipy is running a mixed Emboar, probably with Expert Belt, so he catches a Sylveon off guard, which is trying to Calm Mind, and smacks it with a Flare Blitz. Real quick, some of the nicknames are off. Pay attention to the pictures, not the names up top. So, Proof is going to have to switch out here so it doesn't lose his Sylveon, and Yipy nails that Vullaby with a Flare Blitz. However, it doesn't do that much. Unfortunately for Proof, this Emboar does carry Head Smash, which does 66% to that Sylveon. To that Vullaby. So Proof goes into his Sylveon to sacrifice it there to bring in his Sock for free, threatening that Emboar because Sock is faster. Yipy decides to bring in his Gramble, which does get knocked off, and immediately Proof switches, fearing the Play Rough, and goes into his Roselia, which resists that with its poison ability. Roselia puts the Gramble to sleep with Sleep Powder, and Yipy decides that he's going to switch out on this Roselia and bring in his Cobalion. This is a huge turning point in this battle because Yipy has the momentum so far, but this Cobalion becomes a ginormous threat for Proof's team, as we see. So he has this sub-SD Cobalion behind a substitute, swords dancing all over Proof's face, and there is nothing he can do about it. He brings in a Sock here, which immediately threatens Yippy's Cobalion because Yipy believes that this Sock is scarfed. Yipy goes into his Sleeping Gramble here. I'm not quite sure why he did that. It was mainly to get the Intimidate, but I do think that Golbat would have been the better play after he scouted for the first close combat. Initially, he didn't go into Golbat because he was scared of possibly a Stone Edge or an Ice Punch, but as soon as he saw the close combat, he should have gone into the Golbat because he probably wanted to keep that Gramble alive, I guess. I don't know. It could have been useful for him. Eventually he sacks the Gramble to the Swampert, which is using Waterfall. Here, Yipy brings in his Emboar. It's obviously going to Grass Knot. He doesn't predict the switch, but he doesn't really have to because he is faster than this Roselia. Unfortunately for Yipy, he does miss the Fire Blast there on the Roselia, which means it is carrying Fire Blast and Flare Blitz. As we see, if Yipy had saved his Gramble before, that Roselia would not have been able to put his Emboar to sleep. Yipy matches up that Azelf against the Sock and is free to start firing off Psyshocks. Proof knows that Sock is his only win condition, so he goes into his Swampert. So he goes back into his Roselia to take that Psyshock. Now he's in a Swampert on this Azelf. Azelf is just firing off some strong, those must be spec Psyshocks because Swampert does have a ton of defense. As soon as that Azelf goes down, Yipy brings in his Cobalion to just start firing off close combats. He's not really afraid of anything. As soon as he sees the Sock, though, he's going to have to switch. He's just picking what to bring in. He goes into his Emboar here, but Proof makes a great play in the clutch and goes into his Magneton, which gets the Volt Switch on the Emboar. Proof didn't want to be locked into any move with his Sock. That kind of would have been GG. And this is a huge turning point in the battle, so clearly we can tell that Yipy is in a huge advantageous position, and the only way that Proof is going to be able to win this battle is if he gets this freeze. And he gets the freeze. That wasn't a damage roll. That Golbat was going to live that Ice Punch no matter what. as long as it had, yeah, it was just gonna live as long as it had a Violate, which it obviously did. Um, honestly, that just stinks. That's terrible for Yipy, that freeze. Yippy's gonna just take out this take out the Magneton with the close combat, and now, it's all up to if Kabalion can kill the sock, and unfortunately it can't. And the sock shows that it wasn't scarfed, it was actually banded the entire time, and it kills that Kabalion. So that was a great game. Proof won 1-0. Good battle, guys. See you later. Peace. And if you liked it, please subscribe to the POSim channel.